Polarity case. The confessions of an involuntary intellectual. My name is information, but that's misinformation to you.
Today's episode is Foolish Heart. Well, let's get on with it then, shall we? Let's get it.
Let's go. Okay, so, do hurt people truly hurt people, or do people who resist change hurt people? In the end, ignorance will lead someone to harm you. They think that they can protect themselves by hurting you, that they can conquer the cycle while they are still in it. So they repeat it over and over and over again. Each time they lose sight of the reason they began doing it in the first place. They develop this nasty behavior to protect themselves from the very person they have become, and now that nasty behavior isn't just learned, it is being practiced. It is now a habit. To be clear, you must master the art of detachment so that you do not become intertwined in the destructive behaviors of others. They will make you believe you deserve it, you started it, and that they can't help it. Be honest with yourself. When they hurt you, does it actually hurt them, or does being held accountable for hurting you hurt more than anything else, including watching you suffer at their hands? Recognize this truth. If they won't help themselves, you cannot help them. The only way you can help them is by leaving them and staying gone. Betrayal, disrespect, disregard, dishonesty, disloyalty. These are things you cannot sweep under the rug. It will never be as seamless as a glueless lace front. Who are you fooling? Certainly, not yourself. Stop putting effort into trying to convince others that you enjoy chaos. No one believes you, but they will not question you. They will watch you suffer the consequences of your actions. Then watch you begin the project management process for the big shindig. The pity party. Don't invite me if there are only going to be Hennessy and tears. I'll have to decline the invite. At least get a good DJ, and I might stop by. For the DJ not to talk about how you can't believe that you have reaped what you have sown. Save it. What most don't realize is that this is a test for you both. In this test, you will inadvertently reveal to them how low you are willing to stoop, how dumb you are willing to play to keep a liability in your life. On the other hand, they will inadvertently reveal their desire to destroy you purely based on their unfamiliarity and discomfort with peace. Essentially, in this case you aren't taking the same exam, you are just in the same room, and how would either of you know when you can't speak to each other? Both of you secretly hope to finish and outperform the other to achieve your own goals. Yet, truly, you both have the same goal in mind. Domination. Before you call me a liar, acknowledge that because you believe your cause is noble, you feel justified in making the necessary sacrifices for the relationship to flourish. Oftentimes, this sacrifice is yourself. On the other hand, they also believe that trying to protect themselves from destruction by your hands is noble, as they are also willing to make the necessary sacrifices so that they may flourish. Which is also you, especially because you volunteer. Sometimes people cannot tell when you reach towards their neck if you seek to strangle them or merely to hug them. We have all experienced situations where we believed we would receive the tender affection of another, and instead we were attacked for seemingly no reason. These kinds of attacks can usually be attributed to feelings of jealousy, envy and fear, but it doesn't mean it hurts any less. It seems you still don't understand. Unless you do, to which I would say you may enjoy this next part. When a person is afflicted with a madness, is it ever in your best interest to explain the shape of the madness they experience to them? The answer is no, in case you didn't already know that. First of all, it's condescending. Secondly, they genuinely see, hear and/or feel things you don't. It is wrong of you to invalidate it when you don't see the monsters that they do. How they tower over them, threaten to take everything they love, and follow them no matter where they go. Yet I still don't think you understand. This still doesn't justify their behavior towards you. What I am sharing is the balancing act that I've mastered, which is, just because I understand it doesn't mean I am forced to accept it. This is why one must trust their senses and work hard to know thyself. Not to be religious, but if you believe you are a saint, you are probably one hell of a sinner, and if you believe you are a sinner, good, because that's exactly what you are. Awareness is key. If you are honest with yourself about your intent and impact, then nothing anyone says comes as a surprise, and you are more than happy to take accountability for your transgressions. However, if you are unaware of yourself, you will believe you can save others when you yourself need saving. I am not suggesting that you cannot grow with those you have relationships with. What I am suggesting is that if their path to enlightenment is not the same as yours, you are fighting a losing battle, as your relationship was clearly meant for just a reason or season. Your efforts to prolong the relationship once you've identified that it's unhealthy are more indicative of an attachment issue rather than a courageous sacrifice. Loyalty isn't meant to be a ball and chain. The very second you notice that it is, do yourself a favor and evaluate why it must come to an end. Animals have the gift to sense natural disasters before they occur. As humans, we have the gift of sensing relational disasters before they occur. Nonetheless, no one is ever truly prepared for the sting of the quarrel that marks the end of an era. If you practice mastering the law of detachment as the more emotionally intelligent individual in the equation, you can do what is necessary even when you don't like it. Put an end to the misery by showing up for yourself. If your relationship cannot withstand an increase in your self-respect, courage, bravery, and self-love, do you truly believe that person cares for you? To cure a disease, no one said it would be painless, sweet, or quick. You have to acknowledge that your fantasy of how things should end or continue isn't best for either of you, and it is usually selfishly rooted in your fear of what comes next. The unknown, but fear not, for what we lose in the fires we always find in the ashes. The quicker you admit that you were using them as a shield, stuffed animal, a sedative to ease the other pains you experience in life, the more clearly you will see. You have chosen them as a lesser evil in your life, which is why their evil was tolerated, enabled and even encouraged. Even if you believe you aren't unhappy with your life, think again, and if that doesn't spark something, instead feel again. If the thought makes you squirm, you should know the clock is ticking and be wary of when it strikes 12, you will receive no mercy. Do not avoid this opportunity for rebirth. Let your tears fall as you make your toast to your new life. The cost will be great, but the success greater. You aren't guilty nor responsible for others, and there is no shame in leaving behind those who are simply growing at a different pace. If you stay together, you will drag them, and your muscles will ache. It hurts you both. You are not helping. With every step, the truth will become more apparent. You'll never make it there together, you're not meant to. That doesn't mean that you can't make it apart. However, that's up to them. Mind you, before your savior complex gets triggered, it is pompous of you to believe that your destination is the right one. We aren't all born to be heroes, billionaires, CEOs, humanitarians or Ken and Barbie. Some people are like me, weirdos, big mouths, jackasses, dumbasses, just unsettling individuals. Don't tell me that just because I'm exploring, you think I'm lost. I am, but forgive me for saying this, your destiny looks hella boring. I'm gonna keep exploring, maybe I'll run into the valley of the shadow of death by accident. I'll handle it like I always do, it's not the first time. But whoa, don't get it twisted, we're nobody's charity case. Let that marinate. Just think about it.